Look, we all know that Gen Z can be pretty stupid.
I'll cut off your nutsack and nail it to my door!
Jesus. There's no wonder why people call us the most doomed generation. Now, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to try to explain to you why that is. But first, we need to head outside so we can really figure it out. Here we go.
Horsies.
Now, Gen Z is doomed, and there's a multitude of reasons for that. And the first reason I'm really going to get into today is because we've been taught to be ourselves. Some of you are wondering probably why it's a bad thing to be taught to just be yourself, pursue your interests, go do what you want to do. The problem is, what if you're a loser? Like most of us are in Gen Z. I'm gonna be honest, we're weak, unmasculine, feminine losers. That's most of us. Most of us can't run 2 miles, can't do 10 pull-ups, can't do 25 push-ups. Most of us literally stay inside and sit at our keyboards all day or go to our crappy jobs for 8 hours, and we come back and we spend the time wasting it on mindless entertainment, not learning real skills, genuinely just being bad. And on top of that, we also eat terrible food. This is something that's pushed on to everybody, right? What's pushed onto us is eating terrible food, even in lunch lines and schools and stuff like that. And it's not just like these kids are making these decisions on their own. It's mostly the weakness of the parents. When you get home, these kids cannot decide what they eat, right? So they'll go and their parents will bring them McDonald's. And then they'll think that's okay. They'll think growing up when they get older, you know, our age, that it's okay to eat McDonald's when it's not. McDonald's literally kills you. It literally kills you. A lot of men, I don't know the percentage off my head right now, but I'll throw up the stat, have a condition where they literally grow titties. Most men have record low testosterone now. And I can imagine how bad it is for women. Imagine trying to be a woman, trying to find a good man in this age. It's so difficult. The next thing that causes us to be doomed is our terrible attention spans. It's our phones. Most of us cannot put down the phone. And I'm going to be honest, I have that problem with putting it down. Can you imagine what it's going to do to like what's the next generation when they like spent their entire life on iPads? Can you imagine how fucked their attention span is going to be? We have less attention than a goldfish, and most people can't read. We've been so overstimulated looking at our phones, Twitters, Instagram, mindless entertainment. We can't read 2 paragraphs of someone writing without our mind jumping off to like skippity toilet. And it's not entirely our generation's fault, you could say. You know, our parents, they raised us in a world where it's like, oh, they tried their best. They try to make this generation better, right? They try to tell us, oh, just accept everyone for who they are, when really that just made more men weak. They try to tell us, oh, be more feminine, be less masculine. But the men who actually do be less masculine and more feminine do not get any girls. And they didn't do it out of like a mean place. They did it to try to make the world a better place. But with the rise of people like Andrew Tate and Hamza and all the self-improvement creators, we can see that that is not how it works. Masculinity and femininity need to be separate. We need to be men and they need to be women. We need to avoid estrogenic food, 90% of refined sugars. We need to cut all of it out. We need to socialize again. It's important to remember to, yes, as a member of Gen Z, like we literally didn't choose this lifestyle. We didn't choose to get iPads like shoved in front of our face. We didn't choose to be forced to eat McDonald's. Like I literally live that lifestyle, right? I had to eat McDonald's. I ate powdered donuts every morning before school, and I was at a point where I was like fucking 120 pounds at 5'8". I was like borderline anorexic. The thing is, although we didn't choose this hand, we didn't choose to be addicted to TikTok, we didn't choose to have social media in front of us, we didn't choose to have fast food and estrogenic food placed in front of us, we didn't choose for the feminist movement to make sure that men and women are the same thing. We didn't choose any of that. But we are still responsible for how we act because of it. This is another thing that people in my generation lack, is responsibility for their actions. It pisses me off, especially, I know kids will be kids and I know younger people will be younger people, but it really gets me angry because I feel like a lot of people in my generation are not responsible for their actions. And it's a shame. It's such a big shame to me, because if you take responsibility for your actions, that's the only way you are able to improve in life. That's the only way you're able to grow and develop. You have to be capable of accepting your defeats. You have to be able to take responsibility over your actions, something we are lacking. But if we do this and we get on the self-improvement path, we start going to the gym, we start working out, we start getting out in nature more, we start eating healthier, we start reading books, we delete our social medias, and we make a commitment to ourselves to follow God, and we start doing these things more, I guarantee not only will your life improve, not only will your depression most likely be cured, not only will your anxiety most likely be cured, not only will you have a more fuller, fulfilled life, but that's the way God intended us to live. You can follow your life doing what's purposeful to you. And of course, it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. I know I make it sound easy. Oh, it's just one step forward. No, going against this modern social ways is like pushing up against the sun. It is so difficult. I mean, I struggle every single day, and I'm a self-improvement YouTuber, right? Like, I literally struggle to put down my phone. Like, oh my God, this one YouTuber, he's so good. Sometimes I'll like reinstall a game and I'll sit there and I'll just stare at it because I want to play it so bad. But if we avoid these things, if we avoid all the distractions, and we choose a life of self-improvement, then you'll have a life worth living. You will be happy, have a family, have a community. You'll believe it. You'll follow God. Yeah, and you'll have a life worth living. Like I always say at the end of every single one of my uploads, never quit.